Hi. Today we are talking about, it can be a touchy subject. It's communication, but particularly in a communication where one person has a very high level of knowledge or skill in a field and the other person doesn't. And this is one, I think, something that happens fairly regularly. And so in our case, this happened with us today, and it's around computers and computer use. And I'm very, I get computers and they love me and I love them, and I do so much. It's easy, and that's the thing. They call it the curse of knowledge, right? We know so much we forget how much we know, and that's really the issue. So it's easy for me and I think for many people who have a high degree of knowledge and skill in an area, when they're working with someone that has less skills, then it's easy to forget how much they know. It's easy to forget what it was like to be a beginner.
It's like you in the kitchen.
Very much. and then the tables are reversed. And it's like, so it's very tempting for the person that knows a lot to just be frustrated.
Gobsmacked, ticked off.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe you don't know that. That's so obvious. Right, but that's where our communication is off, because we're misaligned. It's not a greater than, lesser than situation of one person being better than the other.
No,
it may be a different skill level, but everybody's got. So again, we can walk 20 feet from the computer to the kitchen, and
10.
Maybe it's 10. Yeah, I'm looking over there.
And he falls apart.
And then the tables are turned.
Yeah.
And I can run the microwave and do some really basic stuff. I can make some pretty good scrambled eggs. But having a meat and 3 sides all come out at the same time without dirtying every pot in the kitchen, it's not happening.
One out with inside of 2 hours is amazing.
And so, the title of the video is that, and this is really, it's making light of what can be a very serious situation. But, from that point of view of the person that knows a lot, sometimes watching a beginner struggle is like watching a 2-year-old scribble and trying to think of it as art. It's hard. And so it's important in our communication.
And how many times did you walk away this morning?
Because I got frustrated, and rather than saying something that, venting that frustration, I walked it off. Right?
Okay, I'll go with that.
But it's also about timing.
Yep.
And timing questions, and the nature of the question. So sometimes it's
right.
I need to be better about asking, what is it that you need from me to help make this go smoother? What does it seem like I'm assuming that isn't working, right?
Well, sometimes it's hard to articulate. I don't know what it is I'm missing. I just know I'm missing something.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's a step or a process or that I can't do it. Like I want to.
Okay. And so that brings to mind another thing, that it kind of shifts the burden to the person with the greater knowledge, right? They have got to act as a bit of a guide, because when the other person gets frustrated, when it's not working or they're not getting it, oftentimes then there's internal stuff going on there, and they want it to be over. And so there's a tendency to either try to just get out of it or go fast. And so, like a couple of times, you were like clicking ahead of me before I could say what I wanted you to do next. You were, and we had a miscommunication about the word back.
Right.
What does
the word back mean? I thought it was going up to your browser and hitting that little arrow. I was wrong.
Well,
wrong.
If you're only browsing, that's the way you go back to a different page or to a previous page. But when you're in an app, going back to the previous step, the browser's not in control of that. It's the app that's running in the browser, and that's kind of that level of knowledge. That's something you don't, as a non-programmer or non-techie, you don't think about that. And so,
it was with
language,
Facebook on top of that.
having So getting our terminology clear, and we sometimes you just have to figure it out. Like that was a case.
Yeah.
Right? It happened. It's like, no, that wasn't what I meant by back. Well, and so we got past it. We talked about it. This is what back means in this situation versus a different situation. And now, hopefully
Now
we
Connie
remember
knows not to go up on that little browser and hit the back button.
in those situations.
In those situations. I'm sure it's in all of them, but it's okay.
Okay, so just to summarize, the curse of knowledge, knowing a lot about something and working with people that know quite a bit less, it's important to be patient, to be a leader in asking clarifying questions about terms that you use. Again, it's very easy when we know a lot of jargon and we know a lot of technical terms to just use them because we use them and we think them. The other person might not know what that means.
And dumb it down for me.
Dumb it down, but never treat the person like a dummy.
Yes. Oh, that's very good, Tarlik. How many
Never
years
treat
has
the
it
person
taken you to learn that one?
And that's where the person with the greater knowledge can get can express frustration.
Right.
Is okay, I'm gonna make it really simple, and then it's time to take a break.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Another technique here is recognize and maybe establish beforehand. If we get stuck, or if we hit an unexpected, which almost always happens, let's have an agreement about what's going to cause us to take a break. Like and either one can pull the ripcord and say, okay, we need to take a little break.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope this has been helpful.
Well, it was enlightening for me.
And we will see you in another video. Thanks.